We're going to do an award ceremony. Now, just for a little edification, so much of this show was created on Facebook. I'd seen so many wonderful artists from back east that we never really ever even get to see here. So I thought maybe I could put together this little show. They're going to be small paintings. It's going to be easy for them to mail it. And, we launched the whole thing, and it just took off like wildfire. And most of the marketing for the people that watch it is actually done on Facebook. So the first group of awards we're going to give is the Artist Choice Awards. And, that's a very, very highly regarded award for artists when their peers find them to be of the caliber that elevates them to award status. What we did is every artist got one vote. So they could go on the internet and they could see all the pieces, and they got one vote. They could vote for one artist, and they couldn't vote for themselves. Which is, you'd probably have about no majorities there if everybody got a chance to vote. But when we look at the results, it's almost very predictable, because there are so many wonderful artists, but there's some people that we just know they are so admired by their peers. So I'm going to name we have 6 awards, and I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to start at number 6. And this was by the vote of the people, the artists actually in the show. And I'm going to make this fairly quick because I don't think any of them are here. The 6th award was for Craig Pursley. Craig's got some wonderful, wonderful landscapes on the wall on the back. I'm counting to make sure I'm in the right sequence. The next one is a wonderful artist from Hawaii. He's got 3 pieces hanging on the wall over there. Daryl Hill. Wonderful, wonderful pieces. Everybody loves the 4th one. He's a wonderful artist out of Mexico. When we had an event here, he stayed with me for 3 days, and I still have the tequila bottle that he left there. And it was just a wonderful time having Frank Gardner, and he was the 4th in the Artist Choice Awards. The 3rd has, to me, a really, really special style, and probably obviously because all 3 of us are sold out. I had judged a show at Deborah Hughes' gallery, and that was just Friday night, and I gave him first place. So it was just really nice to see him way up here. His pieces are a little more abstract and a little more contemporary flavor. And to see him, you'd have to go to the back room where all the red dots are. And his name is Wayne McKenzie. He's an Australian artist who's moved to Colorado. There is somebody here, I think, that is actually on the list. And every artist that here knows him very well and admires his wonderful work. His wife Lori had to undo some buttons to get me up here, but it was worth it. The winner is Greg LaRocque. Good job, Greg. Come out here, Greg. We want to see one artist. And there's Greg. Good job, buddy.
Well, I didn't do
Good job. Yeah, you did too. The number 1, and it was really almost, I don't want to use the term landslide, but the guy just gets so much wonderful attention. His art is so spectacular that nobody who ever sees it is not inspired by it. If you know him, I think he uses a term, he loves to paint to show the glory of God. And when you see his work, you know he's doing it. Michael Godfrey isn't here. If he was, we'd know it because he's 6'5". And when you think of a guy 6'5" doing those wonderful, wonderful little masterpieces with just an infinite amount of detail on them, it's almost amazing.
Awesome.
So those are just a small group of the wonderful artists that were in the show. The next group of awards was by John Stern, is the director of the Irvine Museum. If you haven't been to the Irvine Museum, you don't know what fine art is, because it inspires every artist around here for sure. And John has got his 6 choices, and I'm going to turn the floor over to John, and he'll make that announcement. my good friend John Stewart. Thank you, John.
I'm delighted to be here. I had the very unenviable job of judging this show, and I told Randy that he could make my job a lot easier by getting more incompetent artists on the wall. But as it is, he ignored my suggestion and got all these great artists. So it took me about 2 hours to look at all these paintings, and I came up with 6 artists that I thought deserved special mention for the work that was on the wall. I want to stress that I do not pick the best artists, but I pick the best paintings submitted by those artists. And artists have good days and artists have bad days, and my job is just to judge what's on the wall. So, in reverse order of the artists that I thought deserved special recognition, 6th place is an artist that I frankly don't know, which is unusual because I know a lot of these artists, but it's an artist named Carrie Waller. And I don't know if Carrie's here, but she did some beautiful work. I judge a lot of shows in addition to being the director of the museum, and I enjoy judging shows because all the artists hate me afterwards. No, that wasn't the reason. Because I get to meet new artists, artists that I've never seen before. And artists are wonderful people, and they're always great artists that deserve to be recognized, and this is the case for Carrie Waller. The next artist, number 5 on my list, is an artist named Edward Burton, who also, I'm afraid, I do not know, but the work is spectacular. And I wish I could point out where they are, but this was a huge exhibition. Oh, there's some over there. Thank you. Okay, number 4, an artist that does, in this case, I do know him very well, and he did some wonderful portraits of chickens, and it's Jacobus Boss. The next artist, number 3, which I was really struck by her work, and it's one of the pieces that really stood out, is a piece in the corner over there that's looking into the rear view mirror of a truck or a bus, and it's by Rita Pacheco. Is Rita here by chance?
I didn't see her.
She's a lovely woman. I hope she's here. She can hug me and kiss me. No?
Yeah.
3rd. So 2nd place, I gave to Wendy Worth.
Hey, Wendy!
Here's where I get paid for being a judge. It's a wonderful work. And that, by the way, was your prize, the hug.
Okay. It was worth it.
Oh, thank you. And then in 1st place, based on a body of work that was presented at this show, is an artist from Russia named Alexander Orlov. If you look at his work, it's amazing how much detail and how much beautiful technique is in those little 6x6 paintings. So I'm going to pass it back to Randy, and thank you all for being here. And one thing you need to do is support all these wonderful artists, and that is buy their paintings. They enrich your life. They're things you look at every day when you come home and you're you're angry, and you want to see something beautiful other than your husband or wife. You can look at the paintings. They don't talk back. So, your turn, Randy.
Let's give John a big round of applause. John is so influential to the art world here and really throughout the world. But we can always depend on John to put something into it and bring his expertise and his credibility. I don't think he's ever says no to anybody if it gives them the opportunity to help the artistic cause. And we just really appreciate that, John. John is a good buddy of mine. Thank you, John. I want to just take a moment, and I want to thank my staff. There's really about everybody serving food. This whole little endeavor, if you really think about it, there's probably 18 people working full-time, spending at least 90% of their time just doing this show. And if you look around and you look about how every frame is, and where is Lynn Waters?
Yeah, where is Lynn?
Where's Lynn? Lynn, come up. Lynn has hung every single picture here. There's not a single picture that Lynn did not hang. And it is... Where is she? All right, Lynn. Thank you. Yeah, and I mean that. I mean, to just sit there and do this whole thing, and I'm bitching and moaning and nagging at her the whole time, and she just diligently gets in there and just hangs them perfectly. One more round for Lynn. Denise is hiding behind the wall. Terry's there somewhere, Shannon. But somebody who we wouldn't be able to do this show if every artist sent in something, they talked to Jessica. And Jessica has coordinated everything. She films it. She does everything. She gets everything back. Anybody who knows me, if I had anything to do with this show.
So what the hell do you do?
Yeah, I try to keep out of it. I just really try to not to mess it up. And then one more thing, the thing that makes it really, really work, the thing that makes the show what it is these wonderful, wonderful artists who, through wind, rain, sleet, and snow, paint and diligently keep moving forward and working and improving their skills. We've done this show 3 times or 4 times, and I've seen artists come from where they just started to it's like they are now masters in that little 4 years. Would every artist just raise their hand? Just everybody who's in the show. There's a bunch of them. Raise your hands up. Take an applause. You guys are just the greatest. And I want to thank everybody else who's come. It's just what an event this is with everybody here. I'm going to stop talking and thank you all very, very much.